All right, so you may be wondering why I'm doing this. I don't know why I'm doing it. It's the political compass test. I'm gonna take it, see what happens. All right, you can already tell that there is an overwhelming amount of enthusiasm on my part. You might be wondering, this is a Juventus kit. All my Man United kits are in the wash, and I had this Juventus kit in the wardrobe, so decided to put it on. Pretty comfortable kit, must say. It hasn't got anyone on the back, but it's a pretty comfortable Juventus kit. Would recommend it if you are a neutral, which I'm not. But I just recommend it in general. Anyways, political compass test. All right, let's do this. Before taking the test, I'm pretty sure you're all aware of what the political compass test is. Please note that this isn't a survey. These aren't questions, they're propositions. Okay. To question the logic of individual ones that irritate you is to miss the point. Okay, yeah, that seems like a reasonable proposition. Some are extreme, some moderate. That's how you can show whether you lean towards extremism or moderation on the compass. Your responses should not be overthought. Some of them are intentionally vague. Their purpose is to trigger reactions in the mind, measuring feelings and prejudices rather than detailed opinions on policy. So I have not looked at the questions yet. I think this is asking me to go off my first impulse, as demonstrated by this line here. I think that's what it's trying to get out of me. My first sort of thought, my first, my first impulse on what I think is the correct or the answer that I most agree with. Page 1 out of 6. Just a few propositions to start with concerning no less how you see the country and the world. Okay, so starting off big, I see. If economic globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations. I generally agree with that. I wouldn't say I disagree with it, so I agree with it. I think it should primarily serve humanity. Yeah, I agree with it. I'd always support my country, whether it was right or wrong. I strongly disagree with that. Like, what do you think? It's pretty obvious that I strongly disagree with that. No one chooses their country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it. Wrong. Oh, not wrong. I disagree with that. You can be proud of the country you're born in. You can be proud of whatever country you're born in. For example, just look at the Football World Cup. You're proud that your country, if your country wins it, you're pretty proud of your country. Well, actually, that's not the case. Because I'd be really happy if England wins it, but I wasn't born in England. No, I still disagree with that. I think it wouldn't be foolish to be proud of it. It wouldn't, no, not by a long shot. It's not foolish to do so. I think foolish being the key word there. Our race has many superior qualities compared with other races. Okay, I don't even need to explain that one. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So if I have an enemy and he has an enemy, all right, let's think of it like this. You know what? Yeah, I agree with that. Because if let's say, I don't know, if West Brom play Arsenal, I want West Brom to win. But I'm not saying that West Brom is, you get my point. Jesus Christ, I'm so bad at explaining these things. Oh my God, it's a shambles. Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified. Agree. I generally agree with that. There is now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. Hmm. I'm not strong. I don't feel strongly about this at all. Whether it's disagree or agree, I think I'm somewhere in the middle, flip flop. Um, I agree. I generally agree with that, I think. Now, the economy, we're talking attitudes here, not the FTSE index. Okay, I don't know what that is. People are ultimately divided more by class than by nationality. I do agree with that. That is true. Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. I strongly agree with that. I strongly agree. Just look at what happened to Germany right after World War One. I mean, that's a case where inflation was so severe that the currency literally just hit zero. It hit zero. It had no value, and it was a complete disaster. Strongly agree with that. Because corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment, they require regulation. Hmm, I agree. Yeah. Well, what's there to disagree about? If you pump copious amounts of carbon monoxide into the atmosphere, well, maybe that's not the best thing to do, you know? From each according to his ability to each according to his need is a fundamentally good idea. Is this communism? Wait, hold on. I swear I've seen this before. Um, hold on. Oh, look who said it. Oh, look who said it. I had a feeling it was from the Communist Manifesto. I'm actually not even sure it's from there, but I think this is from the Communist Manifesto. Yeah, communism. No, 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 no. I don't think I need to explain it. No. The freer the market, the freer the people. I generally agree with that. It is a sad reflection on our society that something as basic as drinking water is now a bottled, branded consumer product. What? It's a sad reflection. I think it's a really positive reflection on our society that we have so many options, of drinking. Look, hold on. Okay. Let me get this straight. You can go out and buy Evian or Volvic or whatever you drink. You can buy, bottom really high end Fiji, really high end bottled water, or you can turn on the tap and get water that way. You have options. That's my point. It's better to have options than to not have options. I mean, my goodness. What were they thinking? It's a sad reflection on our society that water is now a consumer product. Well, water isn't a fully consumer product because you can just turn on the tap and get water. Or you could go down to your local 7-Eleven, buy a bottle of Fiji if you're about that life, which I'm not. Just water's water. Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold. No, no. So what's the alternative here? The land is owned by the state. Oh, great. That's never gone wrong before. It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to their society. What? It's regrettable. So is this question trying to say it's regrettable that people take risks, invest their money in stocks, invest their money in all sorts of different areas, manipulate money? That the stock market's all about manipulating money. I don't find that regrettable that people make fortunes out of, manipulating the stock market in any way. Contribute nothing. Okay. This makes no sense, because I think the question is trying to say it's regrettable that people don't have to work or contribute nothing and just manipulate money. Well, they're investing. Okay, people don't just sit in their house, take £1, clap their hands, and suddenly it becomes £2. No, they invest that and they take risks and they get it back. Maybe they lose some money, maybe they gain money. They contribute a lot to society. Strongly disagree. It's not regrettable. Protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade. Agree. I agree with that. The only social responsibility of a company should be to deliver a profit to its shareholders. No, I disagree. I disagree. The rich are too highly taxed. I agree. I think, all right. The rich, I think the top 1% pay 40% of all taxes and 100% of all net taxes. I'm not completely sure on that. That's in America, by the way. I think the top 1% pay 40% of all taxes and 100% of all net taxes, if I'm not wrong. They are too highly taxed. I'm not saying that we should lower their taxes. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they are too highly taxed. Yeah. And those of you, who are going to say, oh, personal interest, whatever, fine, go ahead. It's just my opinion. Those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care. Strongly agree. Does that mean I'm against the NHS? No, I think the NHS is a great idea. That is a great baseline. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Some medical procedures cannot be offered on a public scale. Some have to be privatized because of their costs, because of their limitations in availability. So people with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards. That's basically with any other commodity. I'm not saying abolish the NHS. I just said, 30 seconds ago that the NHS is a great idea. Although it is quite understaffed at times and underfunded, the NHS is a great baseline. You should have public healthcare, but you should have a privatized option. Let me get that clear. All right, government should penalize businesses that mislead the public. I agree. I agree with that. A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of presidents to create monopolies. Well, okay. This is the thing here. I do think there should be restrictions on predator multinationalists to create in order to stop monopoly. But a genuine free market shouldn't have that. You see what I'm saying? So I agree with it because I disagree with it because a genuine free market requires no restrictions. But I think they're, yeah. Let's just go ahead. Now let's look at some of your personal social values. Okay, so it's getting more personal. Okay, we're getting to second base already. I see. That was a joke. Abortion when a woman's life is not threatened should always be illegal. No, I disagree with that. They should have the choice. But I think today abortion is treated with way too little, sincerity than it should be treated with. It's not just a question of, never mind. Let's skip over that. I think what I'm trying to say, it should be treated with more sincerity than it is being treated with now. But abortion when the woman's life is not threatened highlight they're not threatened, should always be illegal. Disagree. All authority should be questioned. Strongly agree. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Strongly disagree. What's that going to do? Actually, I just disagree with that. Because I do believe in the death penalty and capital punishment. So no, I disagree with that. Just my instinct, I disagree with that. Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theaters or museums that cannot survive on a command. I disagree. Art is history, and yeah, we should do well to remember our history. Schools should not make classroom attendance compulsory. I wish this were the case. No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. Strongly disagree. Wait, hold on. I think it should be compulsory. Wait, which one's that? Schools should not make. Okay. Yeah. I think it should be compulsory. All people have their rights, but what? Okay, let's just skip over that. Good parents sometimes have to spank their children. Okay, strongly agree. Yeah. If your kid, at age 7 steals your car and crashes it into a tree, you're not going to be like, oh, bad, Timmy, go to your room. I mean, come on, like, what kind of question is this? My goodness. Of course, good parents sometimes have to spank their children. It's about discipline. It's about learning. All right. It's natural for children to keep some secrets from their parents. I agree. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's pretty bog standard. Possessing marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense. Disagree. It's very destructive. Marijuana is very destructive. And it should be a criminal offense, I think. But the sentences that are being handed out for marijuana possession are way too long. But that has more to do with the US jail system than with the actual view on the crime itself. The prime function of schooling should be to equip the future generation to find jobs. I agree. I generally agree with that. People with serious inheritable disabilities should not be allowed to reproduce. I disagree. I don't think they should, but that doesn't mean that I have any choice or influence over what those people do. Disagree. It is the most important thing for children. Sorry, I read that wrong. The most important thing for children to learn is to accept discipline. I disagree with that. Now you might think, well, oh, you made a contradiction. You said good parents. Okay, let me explain. It's not the most important thing for children to learn. The most important thing for children to learn is to become competent human beings. That is the most important thing that children should learn. And what they, like, what they dislike, all those other things as well, more than, accepting discipline. That's nowhere near the most important thing a child learns. There are no savage and civilized people. There are only different cultures. Well, I do think the cannibals are a bit more savage than the people that I know, so I am going to disagree with that statement. I do think people who are cannibals or, other, you get my point. You get my point. Those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not expect society support. No, we should still support those people. So society should, to a certain extent, support all its, everyone. When you are troubled, it's better not to think about it, but to keep busy with, no, no. This is a terrible thing to do. Keep busy with more. No. Think about it. Talk about it. Talking about it is the first way to getting better. Is the first step to getting better. No. Fully disagree. Trying to bury it is terrible because it's just going to resurface and it's going to be even worse. First generation immigrants can never be fully integrated within their new country. Agree. I'm not saying anything against immigrants. I'm just saying it is very hard to integrate. Just think about going into a new school. Think about if you've been going into that school for what, 30 years, 40 years, and then transferring to a completely new school with a completely new language, culture, and everything, you're not going to be fully adapted. Of course, there might be exceptions, but in general, I'm speaking in general. What's good for I'm speaking about my opinion. I mean, what's good for the most successful corporations is always ultimately good for all of us. I disagree. Actually, I agree with that. I do agree with that. Because successful corporations do provide a lot of technological progress. I'll agree with that. No broadcast, however, should receive public funding. Agree. And I know the BBC receives public funding. But I don't think it should be the case. Because then it becomes state-controlled media to a certain extent, and I don't believe in that. How do you see the wider society? Okay, our civil liberties are being excessively curbed in the name of counterterrorism. Agree. They are. A significant, if not Edward Snowden, search him up. A significant advantage of a one-party state is that it avoids all the arguments that delay no, what? Oh, wait, actually. See what I'm saying with these questions? It is an advantage of a one-party state that it avoids all the arguments. See, the reason why China was able to mobilize against COVID-19 very quickly was because it was a one-party state. So, whatever, they took their word as gospel. It was put into action immediately. The reason why the US, it was a much slower process and a much more arduous process was because, the two parties clashing with each other, it does delay. See, I agree with that, but I don't think a one-party state is anything good. Do you see what I mean here? I'm completely against a one-party state, but a significant advantage of a one-party state is that they can just mobilize quicker. That's a fact. They mobilize quicker because they are a one-party state. But I do not think that one-party states are good at all. This political compass is terrible. Although the electronic age makes official surveillance easier, only wrongdoers need to be worried. Disagree. The death penalty, yeah, I already said that, strongly agree. Okay, so if you have a child murder rapist, you think they should go to prison for the rest of their life and not get the death penalty? Yeah, sure. It's just my opinion. In a civilized society, one must always have people above to be obeyed and people below. Well, yeah, because otherwise it's anarchy. Like the word obeyed and commanded are such strong words. But in any civilized society, you have people who are leading the society and the citizens who follow those leaders. Yeah, I mean, otherwise it's anarchy, isn't it? I just said that. But I mean, oh my goodness. Abstract art, strongly agree. Abstract art isn't art. No way and no way. Okay. Do you, I've seen this painting in real life. Yeah, I know. I'm kidding, that was a joke. That wasn't a flex, by the way. Do you think this painting has the same value as as what is this, fam? Oh my god, that looks like some IKEA carpet, and you're saying that's as good as Van Gogh's Starry Night? No way. No way. Abstract art shouldn't be considered art at all. That looks like a £10 IKEA carpet max. Max. In criminal justice, punishment should be more important. Strongly disagree. Wait, no. I disagree with that. Because I do think some people are beyond. I know that seems like I'm defeatist, but no, if you have a child murder rapist, please, please, please. Yeah, oh, yeah, I just talked about that. The business person and the manufacturer are more important than the writer and the artist. Strongly disagree. Mothers may have careers, but their first duty is. All right, you know what? I'm gonna do something. Hold on. Okay. Okay. There we go. Fathers may have careers. I just changed the question. Oh my God. Fathers may have careers, but their first duty is to be homemakers. Strongly agree. Because think about it. If you're, a successful businessman, engineer, or anyone, but your son turns out to be Adolf Hitler. Not the best trade-off, is it? Is it? Fathers may have careers, but their first you know what? You know who springs to mind? This person. If you don't know, if you haven't watched Harry Potter, go watch the fourth. Go read the fourth book. This is Barty Crouch Sr. from Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. If you think he is a good man, or his actions are always completely justified. Because he has a very successful career. That man I just showed you in the book, he has a very, very, very successful career. But his son turns out to be a crazy, murdering lunatic. Yeah. Every parent's first duty is to be a homemaker for their children to grow up in a stable environment. Because guess what? Your kids are more important than, £5 more an hour. Your kids are worth more than that. That's also a reason why I'm never having kids. Multinational companies are unethically exploiting the plant's genetic resources. Strongly agree. They are. Look at the Amazon rainforest. Go search it up. Making peace with the establishment is an important aspect of maturity. Agree. If you got through that, okay, you'll find these propositions on religion a breeze, astrology accurate. Okay, yeah. Come on. You cannot be moral without being religious. No, I disagree. I don't think you have to be religious to know that saying please and thank you is a inherently good thing to do. Yeah. Charity is better than social security as a means of helping the genuinely disadvantaged. Genuinely disadvantaged. Charity is better than social security. No. That is my first instinct, because social security, I feel, is more stable than charity, although I'm not very versed on this issue. My first instinct is no, but I cannot speak more on it because I'm not too versed on this issue. Some people are naturally unlucky. Oh my God. Yes. Yes, agree. It is important that my child's school instills religious values. Religious values. I agree, but that's because religious values could be don't steal, don't hurt people, don't be greedy, things like that. Well, yeah, I said I'm not gonna have kids, but if I had a kid, which I don't, I'd want him to know, stealing is bad and don't be greedy, be nice to other people. Those are all religious values. And I feel like I would have a duty, and the school would also have a duty to uphold those values. Okay, I'm not gonna speak on this section. I'm just gonna go through it and sort of pick out which ones. I think that I agree with. Obviously, you can see the screen, but I'm just not gonna speak on them. Okay, I think I have to explain this one because I bet this is going to cause a bunch of different things. You can't feel naturally anyway. You are shaped by what you experience. When you're born, you don't, naturally feel some way. You are shaped by your experiences. Some people fancy people of the same gender. Some people fancy people of the opposite gender. I'm not saying that anyone is more noble, more courageous, or better than the other one. I am not saying that. I'm just saying that some people go through life and they think, you know what, I prefer people of the same gender. And some people go through life and say, you know what, I actually prefer people of the opposite gender. Again, I'm not saying anything's better than the other. I'm just saying, I just think that no one can feel naturally anyway. No one can feel naturally heterosexual. Yeah, I'd strongly agree with that because you are shaped by your experiences. Yeah. Now let's see where I stand. Okay, so this is the social scale on the y-axis and the economic scale on the x-axis. Okay, seems fair enough. Let's see where I stand. Okay. Contrasting nations. Okay, seems okay. I'm a bit to the right on I'm basically centrist on the social scale, and I'm slightly to the right in economic terms. I am slightly more libertarian, right-wing libertarian. Jesus Christ, what am I doing with my life? Okay, beyond the existential crisis questions, that's where I stand. Is this test fair? Do you agree or disagree? Obviously, this is just my opinion. I hope I justified everything, all of my choices. I'm not saying that my choices are the correct choices. I'm just trying to give my opinion, and hopefully I can see more people take the political compass test. All right. See you next time.